Well, I might as well join the hype train by Andrew Tate, because every goddamn YouTube short I've seen is just him. I'm going to lose my mind, dude. I can't. Now, I don't think he's Mussolini, nor do I think he's Jesus. We're talking about Andrew Tate, but I kind of want to just talk about all these similar types of people, whether they're on the more right-leaning side like Andrew Tate, or, Ben Shapiro, whatever the fuck, I don't know these people, or more left-leaning like Ethan Klein, Hassan. But what you have to understand, these people do not care about you. Now, most grown adults can easily recognize this. Obviously, these people exaggerate their personalities and have takes that make a certain amount of sense, but often what these characters do is that they are hyper aware of their audience, so they say things their audience can relate to or sympathize with, or oftentimes will agree, even if it's a bit even if they're pushing it. However, what tends to happen is that these creators, I really don't know how to describe them, but will often keep upping their hot takes, and there's a million examples. It obviously gets more attention, clout, or whatever you want to say, which retroactively gets them more exposure and money. And now the danger of this is that it creates these cult-like groups filled with yes men, Twitter groups, for example, where everyone has the same opinion or a very similar opinion. No one ever speaks out against them, otherwise they'll be kicked out of the group. They keep thinking in a certain niche or like certain manner. Normally it's political, like the right versus left. Obviously what happens is slightly right-leaning people will become more and more conservative, and somewhat liberal people will become the most comical version of the modern-day liberal. Now, the worst part of this, I think, is that these people take advantage of very vulnerable people who are desperate for guidance, which honestly it's pretty much everyone, just part of being human, I suppose. But what happens is that oftentimes these hustlers will correctly identify a problem, whether that be depression, failures in romantic pursuits, financial hardships, but their solutions is oftentimes very toxic and completely insane. And usually it just devolves into sucking the money out of their supporters. I'm very aware that some people will legitimately benefit product, the Hustlers University, their guide to how to become a fucking communist, I don't know. But it's going to be a very small amount of people who already may have a certain advantage, like financial intelligence or a certain amount of work ethic, whatever it may be. But the vast majority of people will just lose their money and end up in a far worse situation than they were before. But I just want to say, just be careful. I know life is incredibly difficult to navigate, but don't rely on these idiots. P.S. one thing I do want to mention, a lot of YouTubers or whatever make videos on Andrew Tate criticizing him, which is fine, but they look horrific. You know what I mean? Because a lot of supporters of Andrew Tate is like, bro, he's a big boxer, he's jacked and whatever, and these guys look like fucking Timothy Chalamet. I just want to mention that, so I do understand. I'll just leave you with this, is that there are much, much better mentors on the internet, So just have an honest conversation with yourself, and I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you for watching.